And it's a story of darkness, light, justice, faith, and the power of love. Most importantly, the proceeds of this book goes to a charitable cause. And here to tell us about the Last Castle in Brooklyn and how this old gem is receiving new life and how our young people will be the beneficiaries of this book is author and blog writer Lady Simone. Nice to see you, my girl.
Thank you,
All right.
thank you. Great to see you too.
Yeah. Now, give us some, it's about love, darkness, and light.
All
Tell
at
us
the
of
same
explain it.
time.
Yeah.
Well, the castle is it's a real building. It exists.
It's a real castle.
Right.
No metaphors.
No, it exists. It's a building in Brooklyn, and it's an old. It was built as a precinct, and it's an old church now. And
It was a police precinct?
yeah, it was built in 1862 as a precinct.
Yeah. Okay.
And so hence its castle-like appearance, because it was built to display the formidable appearance of the police force.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it looks like a fort.
Right, right.
So it was the first precinct in Brooklyn, in East New York, Brooklyn, Bronxville area.
Yeah.
And so I stumbled upon this enchanted castle and, had a vision to do something for the community because
You were just walking by and said, wow, that police department looks like a castle. Write a book on that. How did it
somewhat
happen?
like that. Well, I always wanted to write a book. I read a lot when coming up, and I always wanted to write a book. And I did pass by one day, and I was looking for a way to give back to the community. And I saw the old building, and it was the first time I saw it. And, I had a vision about it. It was almost as if the building spoke to me, and it said, help me. It has so much history, to give
So the
and
building that let you
heritage.
pass it by just reached out and grabbed you by the
It
arm
did.
and said, yeah, I need some help here.
Exactly. It
Basically.
really, really did. And after that moment, a series of events happened that I really couldn't get away from. I tried to get away, Bob. I really tried to get away because there was a lot of darkness. That the castle was abandoned. It looked haunted, okay? A lot of broken glass.
How does a haunted house look?
It looks dark. There's like moss, green moss all along the sides of the walls.
Just gave you
When
an
you
eerie feeling just walking by it?
Yeah, but at the same time, though, you're struck by the majestic appearance of the building. And when I entered the building for the first time, it was all dark
Wow.
through the garage doors. And there was a old man in there. He lived in there all by
Homeless?
himself. And he's the old preacher of the old
Really?
castle. And he has this long
Castle's
beard
keeper.
and a Texan hat. So he's quite a character. He's since passed, and
Yeah.
but he's a real character in the book.
Yeah.
And also the book does explore sexual relationships between pastors and members of the flock,
Wow.
which is not supposed to be, but
Yeah.
it happens. And so the book takes a look at that in a sympathetic way, because so often people are ready to like throw stones at people without really knowing, the situation and what really transpired.
And that's from what somebody told you or what you experienced by going to church or?
Well, remember I said the building was a church. So we had to find out what happened there to make this building so haunted. I mean, were there people buried in the backyard? I mean, what happened?
Yeah, yeah.
So the book really tells the story on how this building, this castle in the middle of East New York. Who ever heard of a castle in East New York, Brooklyn? You know East New York, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did you think there'd be a castle there? Okay then. So there is a castle there, and it's a true-to-life castle. I entered the building, and my life changed forever.
So
I
that's
entered.
from the darkness to light.
Yeah. And also in the castle, there was a lot of treasure. It's not there anymore, but there was a lot of treasure. The old man, he had this idea that he was going to start a museum for all the children and all communities to tell heritage and, make people really be appreciative of their race.
Yeah.
So he collected dolls, bisque dolls, German dolls, Steiff collectibles. It's a really...
Yeah, be careful with those dolls, though. I don't know. I wouldn't want to walk in that building, but go ahead.
You scared already, Bob?
No, but go ahead, tell a story. So how did we come from darkness to light?
Well, the building was just standing there doing nothing. So, so when I walked in to the castle, I brought a certain element of light, and also God is in the book a lot because He really transformed the darkness into light. Because also, if I wasn't like a really strong person, you know, that darkness would have overwhelmed me.
Right.
And so God was within me, and it threatened to. It certainly did. For a moment, I felt like...
So you have the whole system of duality within this book. You have the yes and the no, the good and the bad, you know, all that stuff coming together. But what comes out on top is the light,
the good, the good one. You know, and it got really ugly in the book. You know, really dark at certain points. You know, but like you just said, the light. You know, divine light and divine love and divine power really, you know, carried the book. Really,
so what are they doing to the castle now? Is it going to stay like that? Are they going to refurbish it or renovate?
Yes, what we're doing now is that we are restoring the building to its original splendor and, well, better, more beautiful than it was before. And
the community can use it? I mean, is it
all communities. So we're looking for all youth when we unveil the building and, you know, haven't done the repairs and everything. And it's substantial repairs. We're not talking about like, you know, $100,000.
The building's old, 1835?
1862.
1862, wow.
So we're talking about
that's around the Civil War, isn't it? Is it around the Civil War time or before?
Yep.
Wow.
And so we're looking at substantial repairs, and so that's why I wrote the book. I wrote the book so that we can have the money to repair the building.
Yeah.
And so I was hoping that the book would start selling so that we can do that. And, you know, it did. It started moving. It moved slowly at first, but then it just started picking up steam, like, as we come closer to the actual restoration of the building.
And students are going to be the beneficiary of this book, of the proceeds, or some of the proceeds are going to a school or something here in the Bronx?
Yeah, well, the children, and when I say children, it's kind of broad, so I would just say the youth. The youth are the beneficiary. The building is for the children, really. And what it is that part of the proceeds, I would say most of the proceeds, I wrote the book for to get the building restored.
Okay.
So part of the proceeds are going to go towards rehabbing the building and opening up a safe haven for homeless, pregnant youth. And their babies.
Where can we get the book? Barnes & Noble?
Well, yeah, you can pick it up barnesandnoble.com and also zenspaworks.com. That's ZENSPAWORKS.com.
Beautiful. Lady Simone, New York bestseller. Lady Simone, The Last Castle in Brooklyn. Proceeds go to some of the youth here in the Bronx. And when we return, you stay tuned because it's going to be lights, camera, dialogue. Right here in the Bronx. Cultural Trolley Saturdays coming up and more next on Open.